Say hello in 48 different countries. Why language is important? One of the most important differences between human beings and other animals is our use of language. Language allows us to tell other people what we want, what we think, and what we feel, and also understand what others are saying to us. Nearly 7,000 languages are spoken in the world. Some languages have many millions of speakers, whereas some may have fewer than 10. All of these languages do the same thing, allows us to communicate with others. We all need to greet people, say who we are, tell stories and jokes, discuss and persuade, even let off steam if we hit our thumb with a hammer. To do these things, we need language. In this book looks at 21st of the world's languages. You can find out about their history and where they are spoken. You can see what they look like and also learn to speak a few words and phrases from pages 12 to 53. Despite the differences, languages are related like humans. You can find out about the different languages families on page 10 to 11. Language is so important to us that we have created ways to communicate even when we cannot speak or hear. On pages 54 to 57, you can find out about some nonverbal languages. Scripts and pronunciation. Not all languages are written in the same way. The written forms are called scripts. Chinese can be written using characters like tiny paintings. Russian script uses the Cyrillic alphabet, which with letters like this. English and lots of other languages use the Latin alphabet, A, B, C, etc. And a very surprising fact is that in Vietnamese written language, we also in Latin language as well. Because we influenced a lot from the Asian and the Western culture, especially from French, because French was our invader for over 1,000 years. In this book, we have changed all the words into the Latin script so you can read them more easily. This is called transcription. The alphabets for each language, with the name of the letters, are shown on the side of the right-hand pages. To make reading as easy as possible, we have used the most simplified transcriptions and also written the alphabets of all languages from left to right. You'll also find short pronunciation guides that describe the way the letters sound when they are spoken. A short history of language. No one knows exactly when or how humans first began to speak. At some point, between 100,000 and 50,000 years ago, the brains of our prehistoric ancestors changed. This made us able to use language rather than just run like other apes. We don't know whether this ability appeared suddenly or developed gradually over thousands of years. Now every child is able to learn his or her own native language, called a mother tongue, as well as the languages spoken by others. Languages travel, languages are IP, and the oldest language you can also find more about in this page. Language fact. The most widely spoken language in the world, surprisingly, is not English, but Mandarin Chinese, which has over 1 billion speakers. This is based on the number of people who use it as their first language or mother tongue. It is followed by Hindu, Urdu, Spanish, and English. Latin. Although Latin is considered a dead language, there are Latin phrases that are still used a lot today. Lawyers speak of prima facie evidence, which is Latin for at first sight. You also hear people say gratis, which is free, persona non grata, someone who's not welcome, and etc., and other things written as etc. Official languages. A country's official language is the language that is used within government, which includes courts of law and public administration. A country can have more than one language as its official language. For example, English, Maori, and New Zealand Sign language are all official languages in New Zealand. The least spoken language. Lots of languages are spoken by just a handful of people. Deep in Amazon rainforest, on the Brazilian border with Bolivia, Guarashu has just 2 speakers. Oh my goodness. New languages. Languages are still being discovered. In 2010, researchers learned about a unique language in India. It is called Kharo and is spoken by farming people in the Indian state of Arunachal Pradesh near the borders with China, Tibet, and Burma. Invented languages. There have been many attempts to invent a word language that anyone can learn to speak. The best known is Esperanto. It was created in the 1870s by Polish doctor Ludwig Zamenhof. His language was based on a mixture of European languages. The vocabulary comes mainly from Romance languages such as Italian and Spanish. The Esperanto for I speak Esperanto is Mi parolas Esperanton, and much more. Language families. Like people, languages belong to different families. Languages in the same family have connections with each other. They share a common ancestor and may have similar features. The map below shows you where the main language families are spoken. A language family tree. The larger language family trees have their own family trees, which are split into smaller groups of languages called branches. Here you can see how one of these languages families, like Indo-European, breaks off into different languages. How many of these have you heard of? For example, from Indo-European language tree, it is divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 groups, namely Anatolam, Cretic, Germanic, Indo-Iranian, Pado-Slavic, Italic, Greek, Albanian, and Armenian. And there's so much more in each group, such as stop this. Or here we have the language families. There are 110 separate language families. Below you can see a breakdown of the main ones. For Indo-European, spoken by 46% of the world's population, this is the largest language family and includes languages spoken across Europe, the Americas, and parts of Asia. It's spoken by 3 billion people and includes languages such as English, Welsh, Russian, Hindi, Urdu, and Spanish. Sino-Tibetan, spoken by 21% of the world's population. This family of East Asian languages includes Mandarin Chinese. Niger-Congo, spoken by 6.4% of the world's population. This family has more than 1,300 languages. They are spoken in the southern half of Africa. The most widely spoken is Swahili. Afro-Asiatic, spoken by 6.1% of this world's population. These languages are found in the north of Africa and the Middle East. Arabic is the most widely spoken. Austronesian, spoken by 5.9% of the world population. These languages are found in the countries around the Pacific Ocean. The most widely spoken is Malay. Next we have Dravidian, spoken by 3.7% of the world's population. The languages in this family are found mainly in southern India and Sri Lanka. The best known is Tamil. Altaic, spoken by 2.3% of the world's population. The family spreads to Central and Northern Asia. It includes Turkish and Mongolian. Some linguists also put Korean and Japanese in this family. If you include them, this family is spoken by 4.4% of the world's population. Other languages family. Japonic, which may include Japanese and Korean, Asiatic, which includes Vietnamese and Khmer, the official languages of Vietnam and Cambodia. Thai Kadai, which includes the main languages of Thailand and Laos. Uralic, which includes Hungarian, Finnish, and Estonian. Language isolate, languages which have no obvious connection with any other language, such as Basque, accounts for 8.6%. So the first group we are learning about is Arabic. Arabic-speaking countries, can you find them on the map? Algeria, Bahrain, Egypt, Eritrea, Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Libya, Mauritania, Morocco, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, Tunisia, UEA, and Yemen. Arabic, a short history of Arabic. Arabic is spoken throughout the Middle East and the northern part of Asia. Of Africa, classical Arabic developed in the 7th century. It was the language in which the Quran, the holy text of the Islamic religion was written, called Quran in Arabic. It helped to spread the Arabic language to the areas where it is now spoken. There's one kind of written Arabic used in Arabic-speaking world called Modern Standard Arabic. There are many different versions of spoken Arabic called dialect. Egyptian Arabic is the most widely understood due to the number of films made in Egypt and shown in other Arabic states. Where is it spoken? Arabic is the first language of well over 200 million people. It is also the religious language of more than 1 billion Muslims across the world. Let's see whether or not we can see Vietnam, Korean, 안녕하세요, 안녕하세요, 기세요, 안녕하세요. Oh my god, so hard. English. Oh, English, my favorite language. Danish, Dutch, Spanish. We have hello, top seasons, a cat, hola, adios, or Portuguese, French, Italian, Russian, Polish. Hindu, Urdu, Bengali, Swahili, Zulu, Quechua, Chinese, Jiajian, Ni Hao, Wojiao. Nonverbal language. Okay, so there's no Vietnamese here, which is a shame, wasn't it? But I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.